Magic.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mad Magic. I'm Mono. That is Thallid over there. Today, dual lands.
Hola.
And what?
Hola, that's German for hello.
Well, I don't speak Nazi. We're talking about dual lands and their effect on the overall Magic market, secondary market. And there's a lot of people that believe that the dual lands are basically the cornerstone and the canary in the coal mine, as it were, of what's going on with the market to understand financial trends. So, Jay Thals, explain this to us. Why do people care about the dual lands and which dual lands?
Revised dual lands are huge. That like everybody knows that real estate is like some of the most important cards in Magic. You need land to play Magic, and the best dual color lands are the original revised dual color lands. You can fetch for them. They count as both land types. So they are the superior. Ever since then, every dual land that has came out has been inferior. For example, shock lands. If you want them to come into play tapped, you lose 2 life. Stuff like that. So the revised dual lands, they've been around since 1994, and there's about 255,000 of each of them printed. Now, being on the reserve list, this is a card. These are cards that players really need to play the game if they want to optimize their decks. They're not necessary, but to optimize your decks, you need dual lands. And right now we're seeing a huge resurgence in the amount of dual lands that are being sold on the market, the amount of dual lands that are on the buy lists on the market, and the prices that are being offered on buy lists.
If I can ask you, though, because you keep saying revised dual lands, and that is significant. It is the revised dual lands that a lot of financiers and market watchers use to look at what is going on with the market and financial trends. But why not the beta dual lands? Same
The
cards.
reason, the reason I say revised dual lands is because if you go to alpha, beta, or unlimited dual lands, a lot of people, a lot of your average Magic players, and even like your middle class, like upper middle class Magic players are often priced out at that point because a beta dual land like a tropical island near mint is probably like $6,000 to $8,000 if I were to guess. Whereas a revised dual land for a tropical island is probably about 500 to 600 bucks. So
You know what
it's
I like, by the way, real quick about dual lands? It's one of these interesting things in that you could go to someone and say, would you rather, a Magic player, and say, would you rather have a near mint unlimited underground sea or a threesome with two hot models? And it would be even money as to what would come out of their mouth. Look at you. He's thinking, everyone. Dallas thinking about it. He's unclear which one he'd want to go with. That's how amazing dual lands are.
and it would depend if you had the threesome first, uh, based upon what actually came out of your mouth. But that's another story.
Look, the important thing to understand is that an unlimited underground sea and near mint condition is just as amazing as a hot model's ass.
To be honest with you, near mint Magic cards that are really rare, may as well be porn to me, and they get me more erect.
Because last I checked, I mean, hypothetically checked, I could not hand over a Bayou for a
But
threesome.
Mono, keep in mind that the more near mint on underground seas that you have, the more likely you are to have a threesome. Magic in general, like going bullish, are revised dual lands. They're the absolute cornerstone of the market. They are a player's card. They are like players want these cards. Players play with these cards. They optimize decks. You cannot have an optimized, multicolored commander deck without dual lands. They're absolutely and utterly necessary if you want to optimize your deck. when these cards start to spike in price, that's indicative that other cards are going to start to spike in price that players want for their deck. And in this instance, we've got Bitcoin going to the moon, or like as we speak. And as we made in a prior video, which we should link in the description below, we did a video regarding that, and we predicted that as the halving became closer, the prices of Bitcoin and the price of Bitcoin and the price of Magic cards would start to rise because there is that correlation.
It's Card Kingdom. This is the buy list page. So if you wanted to sell a card, they're offering you $8.45 in credit for the Underground Sea. I'll flip through this real quick. And I'll say about before we made this video, Thallid and I started flipping through some of Card Kingdom and comparing their credit price to market price. And I gotta basically acknowledge Card Kingdom that while there is some variance, that at least the credit price is pretty competitive. We found, often enough with what you would get on eBay or TCG Player or something like that. So if you ever worried about getting screwed by just handing stuff over on Card Kingdom, if you're doing the credit price, you're doing okay, especially when you add in the convenience factor. You have anything to add about that, Thallid?
Yeah, if you intend to buy Magic cards with the cash that you're trading into Card Kingdom, you might as well get the credit. Because Card Kingdom has the most efficient, elite, uber like evaluations of card condition. So if you buy something from Card Kingdom, if they say it's near mint, that card is near mint. Essentially, their credit price is is more than the price you would get selling it on eBay after eBay fees.
Although, honorable mention to Wheel of Fortune being basically worth the same price as a Savannah. I mean, like, what the hell, right?
I have to make a quick interjection here, and this is a hot take. Within the next 5 years, Wheel of Fortune will be the most valuable card that was printed and revised.
Now let's look at this. These are the ones, if you wanted to buy them from Card Kingdom, well, you can forget the Underground Sea, right? Nothing. Now let's just notice how many near mints they have in stock. Okay. 5 volcanic islands, 6 tundras, 8 badlands. By the way, no near mints yet. 3 tropicals, 5 bayous. There you go. 2 near mints on the plateaus. Whoop-de-fucking-do, right? Like that's the one, like everyone's got a plateau. And then going down the rest of the list, nada.
Card Kingdom made another mistake, and this was the same mistake they made during COVID. Because they were so scared, they took down the buy list, and that really made their inventory suffer. And because of the bearishness in Bitcoin and other markets and everything else collapsing, they're like, oh shit, we have to pull our buy list down. And they did, and now look at what we have. And that's another catalyst for a huge bull market.
Hey, Card Kingdom, you really need to start offering some better buy prices if people want to sell you their cards, because your credit's not going to be worth fuck all if we don't have anything good to buy from you with the credit. So you're going to have to take a hit and start rebuilding your inventory on this. Otherwise, you're going to create a negative feedback loop for yourself, and no one is going to give you any good cards. And slowly the remaining good cards you have are going to get bought away and not get replenished. And I feel like looking at the revised dual lands here, like it's already happening. Okay, but there are, of course, other places to buy cards. Here's TCG Player. And this one's a little tougher with the way TCG works to look up every single card. But showing you moderately played, 629. All right, coming back over real quick to Underground Sea. Their average right now is showing about 780. TCG is showing moderately played at 629. And on a side note, by the way, there's really not that much of a spread between near mint and moderately played. Anytime you get a near mint, you got an option at a 10 And so there's like an extra bonus from getting a near mint to really have that thing go way beyond what you paid for. In my opinion, that's why they're the best value. And these are underground Cs, okay? Right. So here's our condition.
Know what's been selling. As I said, HP $400, MP $630. Here's a near mint for $750.
Right.
But
Light
like
play 666.
this falls right in line with what I'm saying. This is a player-driven bull market. This isn't just collectors. That's not to say that collectors aren't involved, but collectors and investors are involved. We see near mint and light play copies sold, but when someone's buying an HP Underground C, it isn't as an investor.
Yeah, they want to play. They want to play with this card. Anyway, these are ending soonest, and it's hard to say because everyone knows with sniping and eBay, right? Like things go crazy in like the last 11 seconds. But I do find this a little bit telling. So this is a PSA graded 5. So they're calling it excellent, but to me that's like, that's whatever. Things at 5 are like not impressive to me. I wouldn't bother getting something graded. I don't think that I'd cause a 5. But 24 bids, $425 before it kind of started to relax. Whipping back over to MTG stocks, we're seeing like a blip, right? Like, and this is what we're talking about. Something's starting, all right, with the cards. I mean, look, it was like flatlining, right? And then all of a sudden now there's this activity, and I think that's exactly what you're saying. Okay, any final thoughts before we let everybody go?
What do you call a Hispanic guy with a rubber toe?
Magic.